YouTube, can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you kicking in with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. As always, let me know where you're watching from inside the comment box. I got a great show lined up for you today. In fact, it'll be a call-in show. Did you see this? This is just fresh out the kitchen. This is why I was just 1 minute late on my show. It might not seem long to you, but for me, it's like that's an eternity because I am always punctual, all right? So this is just in. This is from our Facebook channel, an interview with Chris Lowe that Diego Pavia did regarding the upcoming matchup for Alabama Vanderbilt. He says this, look, I want to go full screen on it so you can see it. This is, by the way, just in on On3. Chris Lowe, as you know, now works for On3. He said this, Diego Pavia, if we play our game, it won't be close. Diego Pavia, I'm facing Alabama. This comes from an interview with Chris Lowe. Look, you know what? It's crazy, and you know what he's doing right here. This is the Johnny sign, right? We're talking about that all and more. But, man, yo, he's talking. There it is, right? Like, that's it. That's what we're kind of waiting. I was wondering when he would, say something. And I guess here it is. It won't be close. Maybe he means it won't be close in terms of Alabama beating Vanderbilt. I don't know. But there it is. The quote heard around the world. You'll see this everywhere today. If we play our game, it won't be close. That's Diego Pavia on Facing Alabama in an interview with Chris Lowe. So check that out. But look, all right. With that being said, we'll get the juices flowing in today when you call into the show. You can give me a bold prediction. You can talk about any of kind of the main storylines going into this game, right? There's a lot of storylines going into a game like this, a game of the big magnitude, a game. You know, it's crazy too. And I would imagine, give me 1 second real quick. This is flowing in today. I would imagine, who's like really pissed off right now? I don't know why this always happens, okay? I don't know, a lot about the world. I know a little bit, now that I'm 41. But the crazy thing is, this stuff with Florida State, it's always, like, for example, Florida State had an opportunity. All they had to do was beat Virginia, okay? And College Game Day would have been down there, right? They would have been at Doak Campbell, right? If Florida State would have been like, and they lose. And College Game Day is like, nah, you guys suck. We're going to Tuscaloosa. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the time, Alabama continues to just like piss off Florida State. I get it. Look, they won the first game of the season, but the first game of the season is basically a race because of what Alabama did in the last game, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's just how it goes, right? And like you guys saying inside the comment box, run the thumbs up on these videos. I appreciate you guys being here. All right. The weekend temperature is going to be basically flawless, all right? You got a tailgate temperature, 81 degrees. That's perfect, right? Thumbs up for the good weather. Game time kick, 85, all right? You got a game time kick at 85, and then for the fourth quarter, 80 degrees. So that's where we're at. Damn, that's a hella good. That's some good weather here in Tuscaloosa. I went outside for a walk. By the way, my mom's here. My mom's in town. She flew in from New Mexico. And, yeah, we went for a walk around the block. It was really, really nice. All right, let's give some AM shout-outs. Let's see who's kicking it with us this morning. And by the way, we didn't do? It's the first of the month, right? It's Bone Thugs. Turn it up. I already listened to mine. You hear it? Listen to it? First of the month. Wake up, wake up. I have a friend who lives in Boston. He lives in Back Bay. Anybody familiar with Boston, Back Bay? We've been friends since I lived in D.C. And we talk like every, 3 months or whatever. But, every once in a while, like on the phone. But we text every first, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Wake up. It's the first of the month. All right, let's see who's here. Of course. Chris from New Jersey, Montclair, Ruben Poole, down in Dothan. Anita, what's up? I appreciate your support. Dana, what's going on? Mindy, Miss Careless, Robert Bradley Jr., Big Chevy 205, Dano up in the house. Jermaine, the king, is here. We got Max Tooney. We got Jarvis. What's up, Jarvis? I appreciate you, dog. We got Young C, always kicking it inside the comment box. We got Micah Hallman. What's up, man? You saying roll tide, roll. Debbie, Miss Debbie, what's up? How you doing today? You having your coffee? You got Bruce coming to us from Fort Wayne, Indiana. You got Crystal Jones. What's up, Crystal? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Let's see. Who else we got? We got a great crew. Amanda Jane coming to us from LA. That is Lower Alabama. Broderick, what's up? And if you hear me say where you guys are from, I literally have a photographic memory, so I know where my peeps are from. So I know where people are at, all right? We got Jarvis, we got J-Rob, we got Zach, we got Keith, we got Zach, remember Zach Morris? Zach Morris, Slater, AC Slater, Kelly Kapowski, Jesse Spano, Lisa Turtle. What was Screech's first name? Was it Screech? Screech Powers? We got Bruce Williams. We got Andy from the 710. We got Todd is Rising. We got Ryan Paris. What's up, dog? Good to see you. Patriot Life. Yeah, let's get in this, man. Patriot Life. Hyping us up. You guys feeling good? Bet James. What's up, Bet James? Eminem. What's up, man? Anna, what's going on? Appreciate your continued support. Thanks for being here inside the comment box. Same thing with Kaylin Childress. From, what's up, dog? Did I make you laugh somehow? I got jokes for days, dog. Imagine if you kicked it with me. I'm serious, dude. I can't stop. I'm serious. I'm seeing somebody about my humor. Dirt Bike, what's up, man? I remember the first time I read Dirt Bike's name out, I was like, DRBK. And I was like, oh, Dirt Bike. Oh, what's up, Travis? Good to see you, dog. Thanks for kicking it this morning. Yeah. Oh, yes. Screech's name was Samuel. Thank you. I was wondering. I was like, what was Screech's name? Yeah. All right. King's family got it too. All right. Appreciate you guys. All right. One way to support the show, right, is to become a fan funder of the show. All right. Free to watch, not free to produce. If you want to get in, one way to support the show on your mobile phone. I'm sure you're subscribed already, but hit this button that says join, and there's different options, right? So the latest fan funders as of yesterday, we got Anna, who's a live show sponsor. That's our highest tier. And then you got Dennis, we got Rocha, and then we got G-Boy coming in with the support. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. There's different tiers. You can cancel anytime, and I appreciate you guys being here, all right? So how about this? We back, okay? The pinwheel is back, all right? And this is how we're gonna do it, all right? So it's $10 to enter for a chance to win a $100 gift card, all right? Team Fanatics, all right? So this is how it works. $10, you can send a Venmo to Bama_YouTube, Cash at Bama YouTube. We'll spin it on Friday, okay? And you can get gear from anywhere in the world, right? You can get your favorite team, right? You go to Team Fanatics, it's got you covered. So $10 to enter. And Super Chats get you in there as well. So Venmo, Bama_YouTube, Cash at Bama YouTube. And that's Team Fanatics. They have officially licensed merchandise. You win the gift card. You can buy whatever the hell you want. All right. So that's how we're doing the raffles. All right. Don't call it a comeback, but it is kind of a comeback. And this gives you an opportunity. Couple things. Number one, it saves me on the shipping costs, right? Because I just send you a gift card, and then you could choose you Soldier Boy, and then you could decide what you want to do with your life, with your gear, all right? So Team Fanatics has officially licensed merchandise. Go out and do that, and be you, all right? You know what I would like to have, if Team Fanatics would bring back, I don't know who owns Starter right now, but you get Starter. Remember the Starter gear, the old jackets? Damn, those were tight. All right, let's look at the weekend matchups. Look, I added Miami and Florida State down there at the bottom, but really outside of the SEC, I'm telling you, like the Big Ten, the ACC, the games are, man, it's kind of a weird weekend of college football, but the games in the SEC are good. All right, so you have Kentucky taking on Georgia. You got Texas taking on Florida. That's kind of an interesting game, to be honest, right? Texas, Florida. Anybody thinking maybe Florida in an upset? Can you imagine? All right, you got Vandy taking on Alabama here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You got Kent State taking on Oklahoma, minus John Mateer. and you have Mississippi State taking on Texas A&M. That's going to be an interesting game as well, right? And then you have Miami taking on Florida State. Both those teams wish they were in the SEC. Actually, maybe they don't, to be honest. Maybe they don't. All right, Big Chevy with Became a Fan Funder. I appreciate you, dog. Thank you so much for getting in the support box. All right, let me ask you inside the comment box, who wins this game, Miami or Florida State? Type M for Miami and type F for Florida State. You know, look, it is funny to see when Florida State loses. And, you know, obviously they punched Alabama, hitting them on the chin, and they might have woken up this, you know, buzzsaw of a team. Whatever Alabama is now, they're scary, okay? I think that Florida State, even watching them against Virginia, I still felt like they were a good football team. I didn't see like a total collapse. They couldn't stop the run. Virginia's quarterback, every time he threw it, it was an interception. They definitely ate some rat poison. Sometimes you just need a good punch in the mouth to wake your you-know-what up. So, look, I think Florida State is a good football team. Fromm is hoping they both lose. You know what? There's no ties in college, but there's ties in the NFL, which is weird. Like, the Cowboys and Packers just tied. Like, what? This is the NFL. We don't tie. Today I'm drinking tea. I went with the tea today. Do we have any tea drinkers out here? All right, look, you know what? I'll take Florida State. I'll take Florida State in this game, and I think Florida State jumps back in the top 10. You know, look, them winning or losing, it doesn't really matter to Alabama because Alabama controls its own destiny, being that they're 1-0 in SEC play. But, you know, if Florida State at the end of the year, whatever, you know, plays for the ACC championship, whatever it is, that will be kind of a, hey, Alabama played this team, right? So give me Florida State in this one. Anybody have any other upsets on this board right here? Is there anybody else that you think might lose? Anybody else that you think might lose? How about, I mean, could you imagine if Florida somehow beats Texas? This is like what? Texas went to Ohio State. Now they're going to Florida. Those are two challenging environments. You imagine if Florida is able to beat Texas. What that does is that probably sends Texas out of the top 25, maybe. But then that also probably saves Billy Napier's job. It's kind of the same thing that happened last year, remember? We're like, oh, Billy Napier's about to get fired. And then he didn't get fired, and then they won like a bunch of games that they weren't supposed to. So give me Texas on the upset watch. You know, I don't know. That could be an interesting game. And then Money McGee, yo, that Texas A&M and Mississippi State game, I agree too. Texas hasn't played anybody. All right. This is good. So the updated sleeper picks are out. Okay, so we'll go one by one. This is fresh out the kitchen. I just saw this morning, so I just added it to the show. So inside the comment box right here, Diego Pavia set to throw for 202 and Tai Simpson for 298. I had Tai at 275 yesterday. So inside the comment box, do you think that Diego Pavia will throw for more than 200 yards? More than 200 yards or less against Bama? More or less for Diego Pavia passing against Alabama? And remember, when you download the Sleeper app, you can make more or less picks, get a 100% match up to $100 when you use my personal promo code, which is tailgate. All right. So 202 for Diego Pavia. You know, this is an interesting one. I mean, this guy's putting up a ton of yards, but remember, Alabama is they're number 2 in the country in pass defense. That's a tough one, right? It's an interesting one to look at for sure. Diego Pavia with 202. I don't know. Like right now, I want to say less. So I want to say less right there. All right. Okay. How about this one? This is a lot of yards. Tai Simpson, 298. Do we go over for Tai or under 298? I kind of feel like going under. That's not to say that he's not going to throw for, you know, over 250. But man, 300 yards in a game like this, that's kind of telling us it's going to be a shootout. I don't know. What you think? More or less for Tai Simpson throwing for 298. In case he's been a fan funder for 15 months, man. That's what's up, man. I really appreciate it, Case. And I love, don't change that avatar, bro. That's my favorite pick. All right, other ones to look at on Sleeper. You have, let's see, you have Diego Pavia running for 60 yards, more or less for 60 yards rushing for Diego Pavia. That might be something I look at, but I'll tell you what, I'd probably take the less as well, because if you sack the quarterback a couple different times, it goes against your rushing yards. So I'll probably take less for Diego on rushing. All right, let's see what else we got. And then you got Jam Miller running for 60 yards, more or less on Jam Miller. I'll take, you know what, on this one? I'll take more rushing yards for Jam Miller. I think Jam Miller, I know the teams are different this year, but I'll take more rushing yards for Jam Miller in this game. Because I'll tell you what, like, I would imagine, like, everyone's been so critical. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. Everyone's been so critical of Alabama's run game, this and that. They'll show you they can run the ball, and that will be the storyline on Sunday, was Alabama's ability to run the ball and to stop Diego Pavia through the air will be some sort of a difference in this game. Plus, Ty will do his thing, right? That's kind of what I think. And then on the far right, passing yards, receiving yards, you have Stowers, 56. You have Journey Bernard, 58. Junior Sherrill, 41. Ryan Williams, 67. Dang, those are some really good wide receivers. I'll tell you what, the Jeremy Bernard one seems like easy money, 58 yards. He only caught for 38 yards last week. They use him as a running back. They use him as a wide receiver. He threw a completion. That one's a little bit more challenging. And then with Ryan Williams, he's kind of been up and down. He could catch one pass in this game for 80 yards, or he could, catch a couple for like 50. That's kind of hard. So, and then Stowers, I would say more. He's a tight end for Vandy. That guy's a beast. They got to utilize him. So, look, Diego Pavia, is he going to throw for 150 yards, 175? Yes. Who's he going to go to? Stowers. So take Stowers on the over. Junior Sherrill, I don't know. I think he'll have a tougher time, but 41, that's not a lot of yards. I'll probably take the under on that. I'll take the over with Jeremy and the under with Ryan Williams. And you're right, Wade. It's all mental for the young sophomore, right? Not making excuses. You got to play up. You got to do your thing. But the scary thing about Ryan Williams, he's one play away from doing something that we talk about for the rest of our life, right? Remember that one time Ryan Williams did this? This is how I have it. So remember, when you download Sleeper, use the promo code TAILGATE. Terms and conditions apply. Available in 25 states. Promo code, once again, is TAILGATE. So I have Tai Simpson. I'll take, I guess I said over here. I guess I did this morning. So I guess I'm going over, and I'm going over with Jeremy, and I'm saying under 202 for Diego. I might change these up. I haven't submitted my parlay yet. And I've kind of found a strategy myself with Sleeper that I like doing less players. So you don't win as much money, but you do, like, anytime touchdown, 3 players. So that's kind of been my strategy lately. But check it out. I appreciate you guys supporting our sponsor right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Let's see what Thaddeus has to say inside the comment box real quick, because he looks like this could be good. Let's see. Thaddeus, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Thaddeus says, Kyle, I noticed with the wide receivers against Georgia, when it was a pass, the mouthpieces were in and the runs were out. You know what? There's tell signs like this. Remember last year when it went viral? That what was Jalen Milroe doing last year? That was like a tell sign. He was like tapping his foot or something like that, and then he'd throw it. Yeah, I mean, when I was playing, I always made sure that my mouthpiece was in, right? The reason you wear a mouthpiece, let me ask you guys, do you know the real reason you wear a mouthpiece? Do you have a real, a real understanding of why you wear a mouthpiece? Sound off inside the comment box. Look, Diego Pavia just said this a week ago? About a week ago. Tuscaloosa will be a good, fun time. And then I know there's a bunch of people that just jumped in. But did you see what he said right here? This just came out. I posted this as fast as I can on the Facebook channel, all right? Because I knew it would be a banger. And he said this. We'll click more. I do all the editing in-house. Thanks for giving me grace. But he said this. If we play our game, it won't be close. I was kind of waiting for like a punchy soundbite, and literally this came in at, 9:58? So I wanted to make like a nice graphic. And I couldn't. I could just, get this up as fast as I can. So Diego Pavia, we know he's a confident guy. But man, I don't know about that. And then I was thinking about this, and I'm sure you saw this as well. So who saw this? Who saw Tai Simpson yesterday? There's a video of him talking before the game. I promise you, he sounded just like Coach Saban. He was even saying, who saw this? So before the game against Georgia, Tai Simpson's like, look, this game ain't about them. This game is about us. It's about us only. It's not about what they do. It's about what we do. He even moved his hands, like Coach Saban. It was crazy. It was like Saban got inside of him. Tai Saban. Who saw it? Raise your hand inside the comment box if you did. Yeah, he looked like he had Saban coming out of him. It was wild. That was who's the guy who did the impersonation of Coach Saban? Well, that was the second best impersonation of Saban. It was like Saban was coming out. It was crazy. Telling you. Well, guess what the other quarterback is doing from Vanderbilt? He's bringing Uncle Rico. I'm just kidding. He's bringing Daddy Manziel. I'm just kidding. He's bringing Johnny Football. He's bringing Johnny Football. So this has been one of the things, right? I don't know why he's doing this. I understand why. Because 2012, let's go back into time. Where were you guys at in 2012? Damn, where was I in 2012? I guess I was covering high school football in New Mexico, right? Probably checking out Las Cruces and Mayfield. Anyways, Johnny Manziel, you guys know the story. You guys saw the documentary, which I liked. Johnny Manziel came over here and he beat Alabama head-to-head. I mean, the guy was an absolute menace on the field, right? So Diego Pavia has watched that game, he said 1,000 times. So much so that he invited Johnny Manziel or wherever it worked out. Johnny Manziel's coming. He's going to be wearing a Diego Pavia jersey on the sideline. And I guess it'll be like the black hoodie versus Johnny Football. I don't know, right? You guys seen this? And I'm serious. What is Johnny Manziel doing now, right? Look, I've never met the guy. I think, he was an absolute baller in college. The things he did were they were memorable. But honestly, what is he doing now? And I'm dead serious. I have no idea what he's doing. And I'm sure it gave Alabama's social media team some really good, they're probably, I can imagine these guys in a room right now in a think tank. He's doing a podcast. Is that what he's doing? And this came out from the nightcap, right? With Ocho, with the Unc and Ocho Cinco, right? So I don't know where he's at. I don't know what he's doing, but I think it's funny that he's coming to Tuscaloosa. All right, as you know, before I take your calls, the strengths and weaknesses of this team as I see it, there's actually one more that we need to add to the strength. Passing efficiency, elite playmakers, improved offensive line play, and actually I need to add the pass defense, which is ranked number 2 in the country, which is absolutely notable, right? The weakness is the run game, right? 108 in the country. terrible. Terrible. Stopping the run, ranked 90, terrible. And allowing chunk yardage plays. It should say chunk yardage plays. Allowing chunk yardage plays. So, there you go. That's the strength and weaknesses. And I would probably say another strength, kind of like a low-key strength, is being able to flip the field with a punter who's pretty good. All right? Blake Dowd, yo, he's good. I think hey, thumbs up. Has Johnny Football turned into Uncle Rico? Anybody know what Uncle Rico is? You guys better know what Uncle Rico is. Man, that tea's good. All right, as I said, if you're just joining, one way to sponsor the program, you could jump in and you can hit the join button. There's different levels to support the program on your mobile phone. Make sure you're obviously subscribed, but if you want to join, there's different levels where you can support the program right here on Bama Football on YouTube. And then, once again, Raffle is back. The pinwheel will be back on Friday. $10 to enter, $100 to win 2 Fanatics. It's basically just a gift card. I'll send it to you. You can buy any gear that you want in the world from whatever it is that Team Fanatics has. So $10 to enter, up to 3 opportunities, the same way we used to do it during the summertime. And you can win a $100 gift card to spin the pinwheel on Friday. All right. So that's where we are at. All right, let's jump into the calls. So when you call in the show, I beg and I plead you guys, okay? Call in the show. I'll ask you, hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where you calling in from? You'll say, John from Minnesota. I'll be like, what's up, John? How you doing? Blah, blah, blah. You know, make your point. We can have some dialogue. I might ask you a trivia question or something like that. You can roll with like a bold prediction. If you're feeling confident enough to give a score prediction at this point in time, then do it. If there's something like Johnny Manziel that's like pissing you off or something you just want to get off your chest, if you have a question for me, then put it on there. And, you know, we'll get it going from there. But just be mindful that somebody's in the call queue and they also want to talk. So, like, make your point and then dip out. Make sure you're not calling on Bluetooth. Make sure that the line is crisp. If you have a landline, that'd be tight. So, with that said, let's take some phone calls. And as always, we got, I mean, you might become Pee-wee, Chris. Man, I don't want to call you Pee-wee, but we got Montclair up in the house. Chris from New Jersey leading off. Batting first on the Bama Football on YouTube show from Montclair, New Jersey, famous for his golden mashed potatoes during Thanksgiving, Chris from New Jersz. Chris, what's up, man? Welcome to the show.
Come on, Pee-wee. I like Pee-wee, but all he asks is offensive line questions. Get out of here, Kyle.
What's up, man?
Okay, a couple things. So, and I'll be quick. One is, since the game, when I was almost stroking out, I've been on cloud 9, very happy, which has been wonderful. However, I tell everybody, look at all the players' interviews so far. Nobody looks happy. We just beat Georgia at Georgia, knocked off the 33 win streak. The LT Overton doesn't look happy. He looks pissed off. And this is before Pavia chattered. So, Bray Hubbard. Now, listen, Ty has to be rah-rah. He's a coach's son. He's the quarterback, and I get that. But even Caden Proctor, who made an incredible catch and was like the play of the week, he looks kind of pissed off too. So anyway, I'm going to say this. I had a couple quick things. Pavia, you know why he's talking smack, Kyle, right? Fear. That's fear talking.
Ooh, love it.
He thinks that some kind of psyops is going to work on Alabama. Well, guess what? It's not going to work. So, and they're going to. And by the way, here's my prediction. No score prediction this week. Here's my prediction, Kyle. Because remember, who had the biggest hits of summer fall camp? Justin Jefferson. He hit I think Hill or Young. He cleated him. We called it the cleaters back in my day. And I think he actually hit Jan Miller a good one too. And so my prediction is he cleats Pavia. Big hit. It changes the course of the game. And you know how you stop that offense? Tim Tebow will tell you. hit the quarterback hard and often. So, all right, that's it, Kyle. I'm pumped up. I will be watching. Thank you, my friend, for what you do. Great show as always. My best to you, my best to the undefeated. Oh, best to your mom in town. Best to your mom.
Appreciate it.
Have a glorious day. Thank you. And roll Tide, brother.
All right, roll Tide too, Chris. I appreciate you calling in, man. Always from Montclair, New Jersey. All right, 770. Let's dive right into it. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling it from?
This is me, Lucas. I'm calling from Georgia.
Lucas, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here, man. Come with it.
Well, okay. I want to tell you about this game. I'm going to be the reason. I want to say the reason I'm going to be this like this. This is not a. I'm a Bama fan, but I want to be like this. I got Vandy winning. It's because our defense. I don't think Ken Womack cannot stop a running quarterback for his dear life. So I want to pick Vandy to win big over Bama. That would give Bama the second loss. This is why, because I am nervous with it. I'm really am. I don't think this defense is going to stop him. I don't, especially with the pass rush. We got two I think our Huskies is out. That's concerning to me. And so I think Bama is in deep trouble, and I really do. I think Bama is going to lose this game. I got Bama losing. So Go Vandy.
All right, I appreciate it, Lucas. Anything else you want to hit on before you go?
No, this is it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Lucas. Call again next time, bro. All right, Lucas,
right.
you know, and I haven't had an opportunity to ask you, like, if you're nervous about this game. So I just put a poll inside the comment box. Are you nervous about this game? Truth be told, and I get it. Look, I mean, Lucas does bring up an interesting point. I mean, Alabama hasn't shown that they can stop a quarterback that can run. With that said, I think the storyline is more so like, can Vanderbilt's defense stop Alabama's offense? And that's not being fancy. I just think that what we saw, and I keep going back to Monday with Kirby Smart, is that, look, would you say this? Would you agree with me? And I'll get to my next caller in just a second. But would you agree with me that Kirby Smart is one of the best defensive-minded coaches that we have? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay. I would say yes. And Ruben Poole, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the super chat. And the thing is, when Kirby Smart said that they executed to a high level on Saturday and they still couldn't stop Alabama, that gave me a lot of confidence going forward, period. So, look, I get Lucas's concern in terms of stopping somebody like Diego Pavia. But my concern, it would be like, if I'm a Vanderbilt fan, it's like, damn, how can we stop Alabama? And truth be told, I don't even think this will be a shootout, to be honest. And I'll tell you why later. Ruben, inside the comment box with the super chat of 1999. Thank you so much, dog. I put you in the raffle as well. If Bama defense seals the edges and prevents mouthy QB from getting to the edge, Bama wins easily. This is home game for Womack's daddy. We'll be on the sideline. We'll be fine. I appreciate it. Super chat. Thank you so much, man. We go back to the phone lines, and we got an 850. Hey, thanks for calling.
Hey.
Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Parker from Pensacola.
Hey, Parker. Welcome to the show. I really appreciate you calling in from Pensacola, man. Come with it.
I'm actually really nervous about this game because, as Chris Stewart said on the little intro to right before kick last year, I don't know if you heard his little intro thing, but he said, "But this ain't your daddy's Commodores," and I kind of heard that, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I kept saying, even going into last year's game, I said, "Oh, it's Vandy. We're gonna wipe the floor with them. It's gonna be like a 52-10 or something like that." But I would have rather lost the Georgia game last week and beat Vandy this week. And I feel like with us being at home this week, but we got to stop the run. How do we stop the run, Kyle?
Yeah, that's a good question. Now, I would say this, Parker, and you're right. This isn't like the old Commodores of like the 70s. I would imagine that was the reference that he was talking about. Like, these guys are good. This is a good football team. Are they the elite football team? No, they're not at that point right now. Winning specifically against Alabama last year did a lot for their overall brand, even as Clark Lee said. You know what? I will say this, Parker. Look, how do you stop the run? Well, I think that the inside linebacker play has been pretty good. They've been doing a really good job, I think, steadily over these last 2 weeks, specifically Deontay Lawson. Now, going up against a quarterback like Diego Pavia, he's not like a pure runner. He can kind of make you miss, and he makes things difficult because of his escapability. He's not like a Tommy Castellanos, right? That's a different type of cat. Those are the type of cats that will beat you. The quarterbacks that will beat Alabama, that could, Tommy Castellanos, the guy from Auburn, Jackson Arnold, right? Those are the type of guys, like specific running quarterbacks. This guy's, more kind of a dual threat type guy. But I think that's probably something. And look, I don't know how well Vandy can run the ball outside of Diego Pavia, but one thing that I still think the recipe to beat Alabama is control the time of possession and have a quarterback that is ultra dynamic. And as Dano points out, no damn shovel passes, which actually Alabama hasn't seen yet. The good point out, Dano. What else you got, Parker?
I mean, I just with us having home field advantage, I mean, I feel a little bit more comfortable about that. But it's just, I mean, I'm so used to looking at these call them basically no-name teams.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're going to go in there and, wipe the floor with them like 72-7 or something. And I'm like, the sun will still come up Sunday morning. I got to remind myself about that. Even if we lose, the sun will still come up on Sunday.
That's right. Yeah. And I think you'll be happy when you call into our Sunday show. So, Parker, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for chiming in, bro. I'm happy to walk you off the ledge a little bit, but I'm confident in this game, man. But I understand your concerns. Call again next time, Parker.
Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you, man. You know what? What Parker just called in and talked about is he's an Alabama fan through and through, clearly, that is still getting used to welcome to the NFL mindset. Basically being like, remember all those games you could wake up, have a mimosa, maybe a Bloody Mary, and you're like, who are we even playing? You know what I'm saying? What games are on, and who are we going to just tractor roll over today? It's not like that anymore. Now you have a little bit more anxiety because there's teams out there, not because of DeBoer, not because Saban. It's just this is college football, and that's good. For college football. But for Alabama fans, you're like, damn, this team, now this team, now this team. It wasn't always like that. And for me, it was really boring for the last, 9 years that I covered the team because I felt the same way. I was like, oh, my goodness, Arkansas, are you kidding me? Tennessee, are you kidding me? Vanderbilt, are you kidding me? Now all those teams, you're like, damn, these are going to be good games. These are banger games throughout the rest of the season. The only game that you really have the rest of the season that you're like, okay, we got that game is Eastern Illinois. Outside of that, all these games are going to be like nerve-wracking, right? Even before the game. We go back to the call-in line. We got a 501. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Dennis from Arkansas.
You say Dennis?
Yes, this is Dennis from Arkansas.
All right, man. Welcome to the show, Dennis.
I actually grew up in Tuscaloosa and went to Central High School, graduated from Central High School in '99.
Okay.
And I could see the lights from our school when we practiced. And so I've been following Alabama for a long time. And highs, lows, and I've seen a lot. And through the Nick Saban era, they held each other accountable. I think that this game is going to come down to the same thing that it came down to in the Georgia game, and that's holding each other accountable. I don't know. I know you talked about the pregame speech that Ty gave. That looked like Nick. That was an inspiration to his team. And then during the game, there was a moment where we busted a coverage with a lonely passing touchdown that Gunnar Stockton threw. I watched DeBoer hold Womack accountable.
Yes.
That's some things that I haven't been seeing out of this team that I think making a difference in how they play and how they react. It's gonna come down to two things. Either we're gonna have to stop the run for sure, or we're gonna have to get our running game going. One of those two things is going to have to happen in that game. Right now, we could play Vandy the way we played Georgia last week, and it'll still be a tight game. But if we get either one of those fixed and bust explosive plays on the run or be able to fit our gaps and stop the run, I think we'll beat them by 17, maybe 21 points.
Yeah,
either one of those two things happen.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I'm kind of in that same boat. The original line for this game was like 13.5. So I think that that's why I'm kind of bullish on this game. Not because I don't have respect for Vanderbilt, because honestly, I think they are a very good team. I think they're dangerous if you overlook a team like this. Alabama is not overlooking anybody any longer. And I completely agree with you about, taking accountability and showing accountability. And I think Coach Kalen DeBoer, what you're starting to see is he's starting to feel more confident and coaching a little harder and coaching hard even to his staff and being open with that. We're okay with that. Look, you want to rip somebody on the sideline? We understand. That's your job. That's your lane. That's your space. Get on your guys. You know what I'm saying? And you're starting to see kind of more and more of that. Yeah, Dennis, I remember you said class of 1999 at Central, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because my best boy here in Tuscaloosa, Gentry Williams, played baseball. He was 2000. You play baseball? Maybe you know him? Gentry Williams?
Gentry. I know the name. I've heard the name for sure.
All right. Well, he's a baseball guy, 2000. Anyways, any other points, Dennis, that you want to hit on?
No, just the fact that I think that Womack, he's a good defensive coach, but I don't know. I've been seeing that every time we put just three hands in the dirt on the defensive line, that's when we're getting gashed. And quarterbacks are checking at the line, and when they see only three down linemen, they're calling run plays, and that's when they're gashing us because our linebackers are not taught to flow all the way downhill first step. When we only have three down linemen, it's more of a coverage look. And so that's what's gashing us. They're having to catch tackles instead of attacking the line of scrimmage. They're catching. They're not attacking. They're catching. And so that's my only other point. But I think that the culture of the program is headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
And if they keep holding each other accountable, they'll eventually gel. And DeBoer is getting into his rhythm to where he knows who he can chew out because everybody doesn't take it the same.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah,
players, coaches. It goes for everybody. Everybody can't handle that kind of pressure.
100%.
But if you want to be a championship team, you have to accept everything that comes with that.
Yep.
And that's what it's going to take, accountability.
Yeah, love it.
Thanks, Cal.
Good call, Dennis. Take it easy, man. All right, Dennis with the call from 501. We go 737 coming up next. But you know what? I like that point. And the fact is you got to take accountability. And, as we start to kind of look to Kalen DeBoer, I think you're seeing more of kind of, him change even with his own coaching style. We're really seeing it. It's interesting to watch. I know you guys, though, still feel that enemy number one is Kane Womack. There's always an enemy here, right? And the thing is, when Coach Saban was here, if the defense made a good play, Coach Saban made the defensive call. But Pete Golding, I think Kane Womack's pretty close to surpassing Pete Golding in terms of the dislike. I think he can still fix it because there was a time last year where we were cool with Kane Womack. But, man, Pete Golding, how long was he here? Like 4 years? And we went through this for a long time. It was like, he is the problem. He is this. It was for a long time. So that's kind of where Kane Womack is at right now. The thing is, that's worse for Kane Womack is he has to come and talk on Monday. Pete Golding never had to talk. He had to talk in the beginning of the season and the end. But he never had to talk every Monday. And he's like, defense is you're still having fits. And we know Tough spot to be in. All right, 737. Hey, welcome to the show. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who online with the where you calling him from?
Hello, Kyle. This is Mike in Austin.
Mike, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. Welcome to the program, man. Take it away.
I'm with you, man. There always has to be a public enemy number one. The reason why is this, man. Our defense is not that terrible. It's not like we're giving up 30, 40, 50 points a game. Even if you look at the games we lost last year, Michigan, we only gave them 19 points. It's not like it was 45 to nothing, you know what I mean? And also as far as, our defense, Georgia has a really good running game. It's probably the most powerful aspect of Georgia's whole team is their running game. So, nobody can stop their running game. So our defense really isn't that bad, but Kyle. I don't know why everybody's hating on Kane Womack so bad. Cause other than the Florida State game, and Bandy last year, we've been doing pretty good on the defense, in my opinion. It still has to come together. Still early in the season, but real quick, I'm gonna tell you though. Is you know what I like most about the game last weekend is how we did not abandon the running game. Although the running game never really got going, it was still a work in progress. We were still almost 50-50 on our offensive strategy. And I see what makes Ryan Grubb so good, because a typical offensive coordinator would have panicked and abandoned the running game, and we didn't do it, and it really contributed to us getting that victory last week. So I think Ryan Grubb is definitely worth what we're paying him so far.
Yeah. All right. Any other thing you want to hit on? Mike likes to talk college football too, so I'll ask you this, Mike, before you go. Miami, Florida State.
I don't know. That's a tough one to pick. I'll go ahead and say Miami. I think Florida State peaked early. I think they peaked their first game of the season, and it's been downhill since for the most part. I think Miami's got good offensive, defensive lines, and they definitely have a good experienced quarterback. So I'll take Miami in that game. Either way, I remember when that used to be the premier game in college football. And I guess it's back now, but it's I think Florida peaked too early. Now, Kyle, you know how college football season is. It's where you're at in any particular time during the season. Because a team like Alabama or any team, we can be much better mid-season than we were first or second game of the season. And I think that's what we have now. But I think Florida peaked early. I think Alabama hasn't peaked yet. I think we're getting there. But I'll go ahead and take Miami in that one. But real quick, Kyle, too, just to answer to some of your other callers, I'm not worried about this Vanderbilt game. I think we're going to take care of business with Vanderbilt. And the reason why is this. If you look at the game last year, it was a complete anomaly. We spotted them 13 points in the first 5 minutes of the ball game. It was the biggest trap game there was. Nobody knew who Vanderbilt was last year for the Bama game. Nobody even thought about Vanderbilt. I put them on the map was beating Bama. But it was a major trap game. We spotted them 13 points, have 2 turnovers. And we do struggle some against running quarterbacks like what Pavia is there. So, but this game, this is not a trap game. We're circling this game now. So it's a complete ball game this different time of year. I think we're going to beat Vanderbilt. I'm very conservative on the picks. I'm very conservative on them. I think we're going to beat Vanderbilt, and I think we're going to take it out on them and really restore order in the SEC, because we got this one. And there's been so much rat poison that Pavia and Vanderbilt's put on themselves that I think is going to come back to haunt them. But I'm really not worried about this game, and I expect our wide receivers to have a very good day. I think our quarterback and our wide receiver is going to have a field day. But like I said a few minutes ago, Kyle, whatever we do, just do not abandon the running game. Well, that's what a crappy offensive coordinator does is, okay, we got to go here. This is what we do the best. You got to keep it balanced, man. And that's kind of seeing this game especially what Ryan Grubb did. Because although we was getting, like I mentioned, just 2 or 3 yards per click, you got to keep Georgia's defense honest. But that was a good game, man. And also, just to blow them on horn, I told you last week we're going to beat Georgia. I told you we're going to go in there. We're just going we're going to beat them. We're going to play better. We're going to beat them. That's exactly what happened. So I'll call it again on this time, Kyle. We're going to show up. Bandy's going to be in Tuscaloosa this go around. We're going to straight up restore order in the SEC, no doubt about it. But hey, dude, Love the show. You take care. Have a good day, Kyle.
Take it easy, Mike. I appreciate you calling in, man. All right, Mike, out in Austin, we got 813 and a 559 coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. And remember, if you guys want to get into the raffle, it's $10 to enter for a gift card to Team Fanatics for a chance to win up to $100. 3 opportunities to get in. The way that you do that is you enter Bama _YouTube or Cash App Bama YouTube, send $10. I'll put you in the raffle. We'll spin the pinwheel on Friday. That will be the pinwheel will be fun to have back, right, in the mix. You guys excited about the pinwheel? All right, 813. Let's field the call. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Case from Tampa, Florida.
Case, what's up, man? I appreciate you coming with it from Tampa. Welcome to the show as always. I appreciate it. Come with it, man. Floor is yours.
Hey, man, everyone's kind of touched on it, people talking about their nervousness, and you guys have Mike brought it up, and so did you. The game is circled. We know Ty's already brought it up in one of his interviews about how it went last year, and we're not going to forget. Last year we came off a really emotional win against Georgia, and go back and check the call-in show from a year ago, almost a year ago today. I said on the call-in show that this is, if not the best Vanderbilt team we've seen in over 10 or 15 years. And I called that it was going to be a close game. I said that it was going to be probably Bama by a field goal. Everyone's gut instinct says, it's Vanderbilt. We're going to beat them by 50. But I just want to say I know ball. I saw it coming. I didn't see us losing, though. But
yeah.
I think that we've got him circled. I think Kane Womack, there's something about we keep one of the game plaques every game we play. That's in Womack's office. He knows that he let the team down defensively and couldn't get off the field last year. I think we're going to be fired up, and I'd imagine we win and we cover. But I still think it's going to be a good game. Diego Pavia is playing like a Heisman quarterback. He has single-handedly revived that program, and that's the thing about their team is that entire team, they don't have the best they're not going to ever compete talent-wise with the Georgias, with the Alabamas, with the top-tier programs in the nation. They have a bunch of 2, 3, and a couple 4 stars, but they're so bought into that program, that coach at Vanderbilt and the entire program, that they play up to the talent. And that's what Kalen DeBoer did at Washington. He didn't have 5 stars, but he had 3 and 4 stars who played up to the talent. So they're a really good team. I think it's going to be a really good environment. I would imagine we win and we cover, and I would imagine we probably get a couple of turnovers because if we're gonna lose to Vanderbilt, we're gonna try to make them throw, and we've got some ball hawks on our team. So a big defensive game is well needed. So that's where I'm going to leave it at.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Good call, Case, as usual, man. I appreciate the continued support inside the comment box as well, man. Thank you so much, Case. Case calling from the 813. We got 205 and 251 coming up next. The Case brings up a great point. Think about this. The turnover margin right now for Alabama, I think, is +7, which puts Alabama, I think, number 3 in the country. There's 3 teams that have yet to turn the football over, not trying to jinx it, just talking about the stat as it stands. Temple, Connecticut, and Alabama. So certainly interesting to see that come into play. And I'll tell you what, and I want to continue to hit on these points. 3rd down conversions and not turning over the football, that is championship level of football. You tie that in with being able to stop the run. We got something really cooking because clearly we know what's going on with the offense. 205, you're up next. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, it's Jay from T-Town.
Hey, Jay, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. Come with it.
Hey, so I respect Vanderbilt. I think they're a good team. I respect Diego Pavia. I think he's a good quarterback. But Alabama's not the same team that they were last year. They're not the same team they were at the beginning of the season. I mean, no turnovers on the season, and the amount of 3rd down conversions we're getting is championship level. Like you said, it's good football. And I'm not overlooking Vanderbilt whatsoever. And I know a lot of Bama fans aren't either because of what happened last year. But at the same time, who has Vanderbilt played? I mean, South Carolina without Lenore Sellers for the whole game, an 0-2 Virginia Tech team. I don't feel like we've had or they've had a competition good enough for us to gauge their talent. Yeah, they're putting up a lot of yards, and I think Diego Pavia's got more passing yards on the season than Tai Simpson, and they're putting up a lot of points offensively. But at the same time, who have they played? They're a good team, but they haven't played anybody. I mean, I think if Lenore Sellers didn't get hurt, that would have been a really close game.
I think clearly South Carolina is a different team with Lenore Sellers. So much so that who knows how that game goes. So much so that I'm a little bit more worried about South Carolina on the road than I am Vanderbilt coming to Tuscaloosa, to be honest. I think with Lenore Sellers, that's another quarterback. Great bring up. That's a quarterback that can hurt you because he's a true dual threat quarterback. And he can throw on their own. Shoot, I've watched him a couple times, man. That guy is good. They could have beat Alabama last year. And going to that environment, I think will be right. And I think he's better than Gunnar Stockton. The thing is South Carolina probably doesn't have the defense, but whatever the case, I see where you're getting at because Vanderbilt right now, they haven't played the most challenging schedule. With that said, they are a team that is moving forward. And look, they have a lot of momentum from their brand because Diego is out there talking smack, which gets clicks. But plus, they beat Alabama last year. That's why Alabama's everybody's Super Bowl. Everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You beat Alabama one time, you get X amount of dollars for your boosters or whoever else, just because that's the Super Bowl game. I think they are a good football team. I think that they will have trouble stopping Alabama's offense. And honestly, I don't necessarily expect this to be a shootout because Alabama's secondary, they're good. I get it. We can be hypercritical of Xavier Brown. We expect him to be playing like an all-pro. He's good. All right. And these guys, they've been cooked a couple times this year, but they still are the number 2 passing defense in the country. So that's kind of what I come down with it. Anything else, Jay?
No, that's it, man. I agree with you 100%. I think Vanderbilt has gotten fed a lot of rat poison because of what they did last year, and I think they are underestimating us. I think Diego Pavia is underestimating us because we've played some good teams. I mean, Wisconsin was still a good team that we played, and of course Georgia. I mean, they're a championship-level team. I just don't think Vanderbilt's going to have it. And the only other point I got is, what do you think, or how do you think that our younger guys are going to do in the Wolf position with us having 2 really significant players injured and out?
Yeah, that's a good question because you have Quay Rusat who's out. You have Ja Latham who's out. Ja Latham hadn't played a lot anyways, but Quay, he's a big one to lose. Look, Yanzi Pierre, I think, is probably equal to Quay, and I know that's a lot to say, but Yanzi Pierre is a pretty good football player. I think after him, it gets interesting because you're like, okay, you got Justin Hill and Noah Carter, 2 young guys, right? Noah Carter, redshirt freshman, and Justin Hill, a true freshman. Justin Hill's pretty damn good. And I think that, that position particularly has a lot of depth, and that's going to be the teams that can survive this type of season and this type of new format in college football are going to be the teams that have quality depth, right? If you want to win 16 games or whatever it is to win the championship, you don't think that guys are going to get banged up? Like, this has happened.
For sure.
Look, right now, we're thankful because think about the guys who have already been hurt for Alabama. All right, Jan Miller. Okay, fine. Here's Kevin Riley. All right, here's Tim Keenan. He's out. Okay, well, here's Edric Hill, or here's, James Smith. And there's not a lot of programs in college football that can do that, okay? Alabama can do that. Alabama is built for this type of next level of college football, which is really the NFL. 16 games is, to be honest, kind of ridiculous for college football players. I'm not mad about it because it gives me more talking points in an extended season. But, they not a lot of teams. There's probably like 5% of teams out there can survive a real 16-type season. It's just you just don't have the depth to do it. Good call, man. I appreciate you calling in from T-Town.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
All right, take it easy. All right, 215, let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, what's up, Kyle? It's Mattress Matt from Mobile. How are you?
Mattress Matt, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in. One more thing. When you guys call in, like, if I can't hear you or whatever, I'll just, I'll probably move on to the next call. I know you guys laugh because I'm like, I'll give you 2 seconds, which I thought was hilarious. Like, you can't do anything for 2 seconds, right? You can't even get your heart pumping. You guys know what that's from. Anyways, Mattress Matt, come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, about Kane Womack, I don't think I like Kane Womack. I have faith. I think he has like half the talent that Pete Golding has, and he's about equal. So I think he's probably a little bit better of a defensive coordinator. Pete Golding had his whole defense was always first round NFL. Kane Womack, has half that, if not worse. And I have faith that Kane Womack can learn how to defend the run better. If he could just defend the run a little bit better, he would be an elite defensive coordinator. They're already, I think, like 4th or 5th total defense in the SEC, which isn't bad, And so, and also, I don't think our defense is even top 5 on the list of things that lost us those games last year. I think Jalen Milroe was number 1, and it still bothers me that Jalen Milroe was giving away the calls. Like when he had 1 foot forward, that means he was going to run the ball. When he had his feet side by side, that means he was going to pass it. And I don't know how Sheridan, the offensive coordinator last year, didn't pick up on that. That to me, I think Milroe is the one that lost us all of those games last year. And so I don't even place the blame on Womack, and then also Pavia, what I really want to see, Pavia just said, I just heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard he said that if they just play their game, that it's not even going to be close. Like he really thinks that they're going to come in there and, beat us by 20 points. And so, what I would like to see is, remember that year where we made Tim Tebow cry? Like I would like to see that happen with Pavia. I don't want to see Pavia get physically injured, but I would like to see Pavia get emotionally injured. I would really like to see our defense really humble him and really hurt his ego. I would just love to see that.
All right, good call, Mattress Matt. I appreciate hearing from you, man. Thanks for calling in, bro.
All
right.
All right, man.
I love that. I like how, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, injured wise, but emotionally. I love how I pointed that out because you're right. I think Alabama fans would 100% agree. If there's anyone out there that you would like to see hurt emotionally from an ego, kind of deduction, it would be Diego Pavia, and just kind of the talking. And he's right. As he said, this morning in an interview with Chris Lowe, he said that, if they do their job, this game won't be close. So still coming in with a lot of confidence, and we'll see how it goes for Mr. Pavia coming in with Uncle Rico or Daddy Manziel, however you want to put it. 865, let's get it. Hey, I appreciate you calling in. We got Angel. Is this Angel from Pigeon Forge?
Yes.
All right, so we got Angel from Pigeon Forge, and I have to tell you, yesterday, Angel hit me up, right? And he was like, guess what? And I'm like, what's up, dog? And he made it to the Paul Feinbaum show, all right? So Angel, he's he made it to the real show, right? This is a baby show. So you were on Paul Feinbaum. Walk us through it. What happened? Give us the experience.
Yeah, well, it was like 10, 15 minutes, which is pretty usual because they have the guest on or whatever.
Okay.
But it was all pretty good and everything. And then he hears my name called, and I answered back to him and all that. It was about basically the Alabama's future right now, what would it entail, whatever. He was like, well, I think they're really good right now. They can compete for a national championship right now, is what he was telling me. And with Tai Simpson and all that. And I also asked him about, do you think Coach DeBoer is a great fit? Along those lines of paraphrasing, obviously, I asked him, how do you think about DeBoer as a head coach? I know last year he lost unranked opponents, but he came to show up in big games. And he's like, yeah, I like Coach DeBoer. He just got to put it together is what he was telling me.
Yeah.
And he said they can compete right now. But anyway, Kyle, on top of that, I'm going to talk about this Vanderbilt game for a minute or so.
Okay.
Well, honestly, last year was not it. We know that because that was like the straw that broke the camel's back with Alabama losing to Vanderbilt last year. And I get it. Diego Pavia can run his mouth all he wants. But you remember what happened the year after when Johnny Manziel tried to do the same thing? Bama beat him pretty bad and basically made him, terrible quarterback
going to the NFL and all that year, because he had his little moment, sure, but it's not going to work out like this year again. And I know he's going to be at the sideline with Diego Pavia, but like he's just gassing him up really to lose to Alabama, like because they know last year wasn't it, and this defense is going to come after him. I feel like, but the whole team's got to play better against Vanderbilt. You can't sleep on him, especially Diego Pavia. We've seen what he did last year with the option passes and all that. But honestly, I think Alabama can really, really win this game. I'm not going to say like by 30 points or so, maybe like around 15 points, and mostly scar Diego Pavia. Look, I like you, but I don't like Diego Pavia for some reason. I'm not sure if it's his height, his haircut, or his, the way he carries himself. Like, I get it. You were passed up in college, but you're too old to cry like that, man. And that's what he's going to do Saturday. He's going to cry, and I hope Alabama comes after him in this game, because just no one is safe from Alabama. But honestly, Kyle, this team will be really good this year. I feel like Tai Simpson, hey, he's not the reason that we lost last year. It was everybody combined that lost last year, from Jalen Nero to head coaches to players. It was on everybody. But anyway, Kyle, I think Alabama wins this game by 15 points. I want to say 45-20.
45-20. All right, man. Good call, Angel, and congratulations,
Talk,
man. Yeah,
thank you.
Take it easy, man. You might be talking to somebody he's running for office, right? Feinbaum. What is he running for? Or he's thinking about it, right? I used to work up on Capitol Hill. I worked for a congressman. So I lived kind of that life. I liked it. I liked working on Capitol Hill. It was cool. It wasn't as entertaining as talking to you. But I liked it. That was a good life, living in DC. I love DC. Ryan, I think, was asking about, what does he have to do to break 80? You out on the golf course today? What time's your tee time? It all comes down to short game, 100%. Short game management, and getting off the tee. Look, clearly you can get off the tee if you're playing at this level. But the putts, they have to be rolling. Take your time, right? Look at it from each side. Take your time, breathe. Don't rush a putt, right? Let me know if you're able to break 80. That'd be absolutely impressive. And then Ronnie in with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And remember, a $10 super chat or a $10 Venmo Cash App gets you into the pinwheel, which will be spun this Friday. $10 to enter for a chance up to win a $100 gift card where you can buy any type of gear that your heart can imagine at Team Fanatics. So definitely jump inside that. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got an 850 coming in. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, it's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
Cody, what's up, dog? Come with it, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, look, I do have a couple of points to make. First, Paul Feinbaum wanted to be in the Senate, if that was the case.
Thank you.
Answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I still think, like, I did tell Max Tooney in the chat, I said, I think we can beat Vandy, but here's the thing. Missouri concerns me, but we need to beat both them two to have more confidence for the rest of the games. Now, Oklahoma, we face them in November. People say that Oklahoma, John Mathieu will be back in November healthy. I don't believe that in one bit. I don't know if that's going to be true, because after injury, I've still seen quarterbacks with a broken thumb or whatever, and they don't look too good. So that kind of concerns me there, because as good as Oklahoma is with Brett Venables, I still think Oklahoma, we could probably beat them, but not by much, because of John Mathieu being out, and that's mostly the running game down there. Another point cause, I think Kane Womack needs to adjust more. I still think we're having problems with that. And Ryan Williams, he needs to stop dropping passes. 13 for this year for dropping passes. You went to Devontae Smith and literally you drop passes. I've never seen Devontae Smith even drop a pass, for that fact of the matter, Ryan. But I still think if you want to pair a guy off because Ryan Grubb is a sleeper, and an X factor by that, how about put Derek Meadows and Isaiah Horton in? That's 2 6'6" and a 6'4". That causes 2 mismatches, and Derek Meadows could be a slot. If Isaiah Horton is doing a Z vertical and he gets a 70-yarder, that's your first touchdown. If you do Derek Meadows and get to the slot, you can go from the outside and either do Bernard or Meadows. So in other cases, is you got two tall wide receivers and Jeremy Bernard. If Ryan Williams drops another pass, you might want to bench Williams just in case and just let him work on that fundamentals because he's keeping improving. But I still think Meadows and Horton, you could still watch out and use them in like a slot vertical, or use Isaiah Horton as a long drive and put Meadows in a slant. I don't know. It's up to you. And for the running backs, I still think for the running backs, they need to stop going through the middle, because every time I see them go through the middle, they only get 2 yards. If I was going to be a running back, I either do a pitch or a counter, just like I do in the video game. I just go on the outside more often, shift the offensive line to block them, and then you get 30 yards on the outside. So that's my points. Roll Tide to everyone. I'll see y'all later.
All right, man. Take it easy, Cody. Thank you so much, man. Cody talking some schematics. He's ready for some Derek Meadows. Ruben, have a good rest of your day. Ryan, appreciate it, man. Smoke a stogie for me, bro. I'll be covering the Tide for the rest of the day. I have to take my little girl to a doctor's appointment at 2:45. Dad life, the real life. And we go back to the 850. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. I'm Andrew from Milton. You can tell Cody, go Patriots, and Milton beat his Cressy Bulldogs as well. But I think Ryan Grubb is probably our ace in the hole for this season. I think he's like, people don't understand how good he is as an offensive coordinator, honestly.
Go.
But I think that I feel like we're going to be positive with the outcome on Saturday, but I think our biggest worry right now, honestly, is, yes, this game, but also we've got Missouri's running game coming to town. Their running back's pretty serious.
You know, it's interesting when you look to Vanderbilt and Missouri coming in. They're both offenses that are in the top 15 in the country. So going up against those type of teams, I think will bode well for Alabama's, kind of overall statistically. I do, though, I think kind of these teams will have kind of a reality call, to be honest. I think they're good teams, 100%. But I think Bama will kind of set the tone. I'm telling you, I'm confident against Vanderbilt and Missouri. The teams that kind of scare me on the schedule, it's not. Look, I get it. Vanderbilt's good. It's a good team. Missouri, good team.
Yes.
The opponents that scare me are still, like, you'll see me change my kind of tone and tune is at South Carolina, Oklahoma, all right, sure, and then at Auburn. Like, realistically, those are I'm telling you, this matchup down there at the barn, I don't even know if Hugh Freeze will be there. I don't know if they'll win a game. Who knows? It's going to be a scary game because of that running back they have, right? He's not as talented as Castellanos, but Hugh Freeze, it doesn't matter. He'll be able to figure something out. I agree with you on your first point, bro. Ryan Grubb, and I know you guys get mad when I say this, he's not going to be here for long. That guy is a mastermind.
No.
What he's been able to do with Tai is amazing. And I'll go back to what Mattress Matt was saying earlier in the program. He was like, look, a lot of the losses, he just points to Milroe. Isn't it crazy now? Isn't it crazy, Andrew? Watching Tai operate, you're like, wait, we could have had this. We could have had a little bit of this last year. Like you're like,
yeah, we were all sitting at a shrimp boil the other night, Saturday, watching the game. We had a shrimp boil, and everybody was like, that was the quarterback that y'all passed up for Milroe last year?
But we all know that there was a lot of factors. Like, you bench him, the team leaves. Who knows?
The whole team goes against you.
The length thing, all that stuff was all tied and kind of connected, right?
Absolutely.
It was like looking behind like like your grandma's TV and looking at all those cords, and you're like, man, maybe I'll just leave that for another 6 months, and then we'll go to like YouTube TV. You know what I'm saying? So whatever.
Absolutely.
Here, anything else, Andrew, that we got?
No, roll tide. No, we look good on defense. I like our defense. I think we're going to keep going good on defense because those boys still have that chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, that's one thing I agree with you on for sure, man. Another thing. All right, Andrew, I appreciate it, man.
LT Overton was asked a question. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree. Yeah, LT Overton said basically we're not satisfied. We're not satisfied until we win a championship, and that's what you want to see. Last year, I can't remember if they were saying that, but I think they were quick to pump their chest. They were dancing in the end zone before games were even they were down. Remember last year was weird. Vanderbilt here beating the you know what out of them, and they were down like 10 points. And they were dancing in the end zone. I was like, bro, you're losing like to Vanderbilt and you're dancing in the end zone. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen an Alabama football team do. Andrew, I appreciate the call, man. Take it easy, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. All right. That was Andrew. 352. Let's do it. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Kyle, it's Trent Ross. I'm calling in from Central Florida.
All right,
Orlando area.
Trent, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from the Orlando area, man. Come with it.
Okay, I got some questions for you, Kyle.
All right.
Do you think that there is a better offensive coordinator in college football right now than Ryan Grubb?
No.
Do you think it's possible for Yay Alabama, Greg Burns, to get the money to pay him to stay?
No.
So we got to enjoy him while he lasts then.
Yes. You know what? This is like, keep asking me questions. I like this. This is like I'm on Family Feud. Remember that? Family Feud, the Fast Money? When you was like, name, what would be a good question? Like a Family Feud question, right? What's like your favorite place to eat a hamburger? You know what I'm saying? Like, so do you have a couple more questions? Ask me. I'd like to be on the spot. Let's start the timer. Ready, go.
Okay, so if the season ended today, do you think the defensive coordinator, I forget his name, has done enough to keep his job?
No. Next.
So if he didn't keep his job, is anybody on your radar that we could hire to replace him?
For now, elevate Mo Lindquist or go to the NFL if you can because you're going to lose Ryan Grubb. Next.
Okay, Kyle, you got me right there. You won. Fast money, baby.
All right, yeah. Let's go. Come on, Fast Money. Let's go. And then somebody else will come out like, man, Fast Money's cool. I like that. All right, Trent, what else, man? Anything else on your mind for this weekend's game?
That's all. I'm gonna keep it short, man. I'm from Tuscaloosa. I like what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I watch it every day. I even got people down here watching you.
Word.
Hey, my nephew play at Ole Miss. Hey, I try to talk him to come to Alabama every day, but he loves Lane so much. So, hey, thank you for having me, Kyle.
Yeah.
I'll be on the show listening to you.
All right, man. Be safe, bro. All right, man. Take it easy, Trent.
Yes, sir.
All right, Trent with the call from Orlando. 205, you're up next. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is KP, Kyle from Fultondale, Alabama.
KP, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling in from Fultondale. Come with it, man.
Okay, yeah, Kyle. I think we're going to roll. Bama going to roll this week. And I think we're going to be pretty good because of the quarterback position. Last year when we versus Vandy last year, Miro kind of, got into a point that he wasn't accurate and he was overthrowing the ball. And I know he had like one pick six, but the quarterback that we got now, Simpson, he seemed like he's pretty good. He accurate. He don't make mistakes. And that's the way I'm looking at that, that the game would be going towards Alabama, that we will roll. And the difference is going to be that the quarterback is different from last year. And I really do think so. And I can't predict no score, though, but at the same time, I think Alabama going to roll.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Go ahead, KP.
Well, yeah, and another thing, Kyle, we going to roll, man. And like I said, Alabama is a much better team with the quarterback they got now because it's different. Like I said, Milrose, man, he was like, he kept giving the ball back, to Vandy, and they was taking advantage of it. And plus the defense was on the field too many times. And like I said, that's going to really make the difference. Simpson, he's the real difference that it's going to make in this game. And another thing, Kyle, I wanted to tell you, man, I'm going to tell you, last time I called, I love caps, like baseball caps or any type of caps. Man, do you have a website?
I'm not allowed to wear Alabama caps anymore, unfortunately. But
you know what? I love that, man. Rose Bowl cap that you got.
Oh yeah,
Where did
yeah.
you get that from?
Yeah, let me see if my cord is long enough to go into the hat factory. So the Rose Bowl hat, and I'll show you the hat that I'm wearing right now. This hat I recently just got. But the Rose Bowl hat I got when I went out to the Rose Bowl. So when I used to go to the games and stuff like that, I went out to the Rose Bowl and I bought a black one. I bought a couple of them, and I bought a white hat as well with the rose. I love that hat. It's a beautiful hat, and I have, I don't know, I probably have 30, 40 Alabama different hats and stuff like that. But yeah, but the Rose Bowl hat I think would be tough to get. You probably just can't get a hat like that. But, yeah, all the other hats, you know, I've told people a bunch of different times where I get them from. Like the university stores is probably a good place to start, or like a Team Fanatic, something like that.
Okay. I was just wondering because I love wearing baseball caps.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
Like I said, that Rose Bowl cap, man, that is something special, man. I like that look.
For sure. And, it's not a good memory, but you know, Cali, great place to visit. All right, KP, I appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Have a nice one.
Yep, you too, man. Cali, great place to visit. I'm going back to Cali. Hey, prayers up for Cody's mom. Cody, our thoughts and prayers with you, bro. 100%. All right, let's go to 276. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Hello.
Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Jim from Virginia again. I talked to you a couple days ago.
Jim, did you watch this game Friday when Virginia beat Florida State?
I did. I went to Virginia to medical school, so I watched it, yeah.
Were you surprised by that? What was going through your mind?
A little surprised, but their quarterback is for real. Virginia's. They probably lose to Louisville this weekend, but may not. You know what? I didn't think I called it. Go ahead.
I didn't think that Virginia team. Look, they ran the football well, and they played to win clearly. That quarterback threw an interception every time he threw the ball, and then Florida State. They were running on the field. They were scoring as well. I still think that I picked earlier. I don't know if you were in the beginning of the show. I think Florida State
ran for 3 touchdowns. He
100%. But I think, call me crazy, I think Florida State beats Miami. Maybe that's a little crazy talk. I don't know. All right, Jim. Anyways, man, what's on your mind? Go ahead.
Well, this one's just for fun. I remember the fridge. So it's Alabama first and goal from the 3, and they put Proctor behind center.
I wish that they would have put him in after that play, right? Can you imagine if they would have done some variation of like Wildcat or the tush push or whatever? Maybe that's coming. Can you imagine if what will break the internet is if Caden Proctor lines up at the 1 and buries on in, right? I want to see it.
Yeah.
Any thoughts for this weekend's game, Jim?
I just heard you comment about the fridge. I grew up in that era, so I watched the fridge play a lot of times. So.
And what's your take on this weekend's game? Any thoughts about Diego Pavia or Vanderbilt coming on in?
I think they'll play good, but I just can't imagine where Alabama loses at home after the scenario of last year. They may not beat the spread, but I think at least 7 or more. I think we beat them, but who knows?
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you calling in from Virginia, calling again, man. I appreciate the dialogue, man. Take it easy. All right, Jim,
all right,
calling in from Virginia, 678. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
This is Steven calling from Powder Springs, Georgia.
All right, Steven, can you turn it up a little bit out in Powder Springs?
Yeah, bro. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little better. Go with it, man. I'll give you a shot. Go ahead, Steven. Powder
Okay.
Springs. Come
I'm
with
sorry.
it, man.
I'm working right now. Hey, bro, I was just thinking about something. Since the first game against FSU, you've had these quarterbacks that are mobile, that are talking smack a lot. And I think what they see is Kane Womack is not a real strong run defense coordinator. So they're picking that to be the thing that they go after us on, defense. So I think that's a whole lot of the reason that Pavia is talking. But the other thing is, with all that being said, last year they played keep-away ball. This year, Kane Womack really has to turn up the run defense. He's got to show a lot more pressure and send a lot more pressure and get those guys off the field, because last year, that is what beat us. It was nothing else but time of possession. They held the ball for 3/4 of the game, and when you hold the ball for 3/4 of the game, I don't care how high-powered your offense is. If somebody's already got the lead on you, you're working against 15 minutes left. So with that being said, I think if they bring more pressure, keep Diego from doing what he thinks he's going to do, I think we'll be good to go there. I don't have any worries about the offense except for Ryan. I don't understand what is going on with this guy's hands right now. You see him last year doing ungodly stuff, and then this year you see him with straight up touchdowns falling out of his hand. Not getting on him or anything. I'm just wondering, why did you get with Devontae Smith and then you dropping passes? What's going on with that? You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, bro, I think our defense really has to come with a stout run defense from here on out, because that's our Achilles heel.
Yeah.
If we have a mobile quarterback that we're going against, that right there is one of the hardest things for us to defend. And Pavia is pretty mobile. We all know that. He did it to us last year. But pretty much that's what my take is. Roll Tide.
All right, man. I'll take it easy, man. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. From the 678, we go to the 317. I think this is Marcus. Marcus?
Hey, what is this, Kyle?
Tell me again. Yo, Marcus, what's up, dog? Can you call in and be friends? Tell me again. Can you call and be my friend? All right,
you
Marcus. All right, I'm crazy. All right, Marcus, come with it, dog. Welcome on in.
Hey, thanks, man. So first, I'm so glad that my prediction was wrong. I'm glad that Bama beat Georgia, and I'm more than willing to eat that humble pie because, man, the things that I was worried about was Bama going on the road, which they hadn't looked very good in the past few years.
Yep.
The O-line, which we thought was going to be an issue in the ground game, and just going into Athens and taking on that environment. So I'm so glad that Alabama was able to pull that dub out. I wasn't going to call in, man. I wasn't. I was just studying for my statistics test and minding my own business. And then I just keep hearing people talk about Milroe, and what he did against Vandy and how this was Milroe's fault. Let me explain something to y'all, man. Coach Lee, the head coach at Vanderbilt, understood that he didn't have better players in Alabama, so he had to draw up a better game plan. Vandy held onto the ball for 42 minutes and 8 seconds of a 60-minute game. So what that means is that it applied pressure to the offense to hurry up and score quickly, which is why Bama had more passing yards and Bama had a higher average per play. The issue is that the defense gave up 40 points to Vanderbilt. The defense gave up. Alabama lost the game by 5 points, and they had the ball for less than 18 minutes in a 60-minute game. Vandy held onto the ball for over 70% of the game, and people are still sitting here blaming Milroe for it. That man's going into the NFL. Y'all got to let that go, man. You got to let it go. I feel like that gets overlooked a lot. Everybody just wants to look at Milroe. When the team does bad, everybody looks towards the quarterback and the head coach because they're the two people to take the shotgun blast, but nobody looks beyond that. The offensive line wasn't great. The ground game wasn't great. And the defense was in year one and was still trying to adjust, and Vandy took advantage of it. It is what it is. Sometimes it's just not one guy's fault. Sometimes there's blame enough to go around for everybody. That's just what happened. I say that to say this. Well, go ahead, Kyle.
No, I was just going to say, I'm sure you heard kind of, I guess more shots fired by Diego this morning saying if they do everything that they want to do, this game won't be close. But I'm sure you're going to that next. Go ahead, Marcus.
I mean, he can talk all he wants to, but we still have to learn to play the game, right? Here's what I feel like. Here's my feeling on the situation. I feel that Coach DeBoer is going to be more locked in for this game. Something that he's harped over more. He's harped multiple times, if y'all have been listening to his interviews, is how do you handle success?
Yeah.
So now it's not about, hey, we beat Georgia, we're on top of the world. I like the fact that this team is like, nope, that was just another game. Let's move on to the next. I feel Alabama's going to be way more focused, way more locked in, and dialed in. And you know what? Coaches are just like players. They get better at their jobs. I think Coach Womack is going to get better at his job if we give him enough time. I think the defense is turning the page. I'm not a fan that our run defense is lacking. However, and that's also – we also need to take into consideration that Tim Keenan was out. We had lost more players on the defensive side of the ball than we had on the offensive side of the ball. And that means something. And those guys were starters. But I think the defense is going to be locked in. I think Coach DeBoer, Coach Grubb, Coach Womack are going to be locked in. And I think Coach Womack is going to get better at his job. And I think people should give him a little bit more of a grace. They ended the season as an 11th ranked defense in the country. That means something. And that's under year one. Yes, FSU caught us. That's Gus Malzahn. He knew what he was going to do, and he confused the defense. They did have good eye discipline, and it was what it was. I don't feel that's what's going to happen in this game. Diego can talk his trash all he wants to, but I think the defense is going to do their job. How are you feeling about this? You think the defense is going to be the ones that seal the deal, or you think it's still going to be tiny offense slinging it around the yard?
No, I think actually I see Vanderbilt having trouble against Alabama's pass defense. I think it comes up to Alabama's defense making a couple critical plays. But I'll tell you what, I honestly think that Alabama's run game probably gets going in a game like this. Call me crazy, but I think it does. I don't know if you have somebody run for 100 yards for the first time this season, but watch for Jan Miller to have a really big game. I thought he looked great against Georgia, a team that is built to stop the run. I think that he plays a critical role in Saturday's matchup, and I still think that Tai operates at a really high level. Look, just as Coach Kalen DeBoer just said on the SEC teleconference when I'm looking at right now, this is an extremely well-coached team. This is a good football team. They have a lot of confidence. They're coming in here, but it's a different level playing at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I'm confident in this game, and I think Alabama fans should be too, although I do anticipate, for it to be close, maybe for, a half or so before Alabama kind of pulls away in the end. Anyways, make one more point, Marcus, and I appreciate you, man.
Okay, I feel that Coach Lee's game plan for this game is going to be the same as last year. They need to hold on to the ball longer. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vandy runs a lot, whether it's with Diego or, those stupid little shovels that they like to do, or any toss sweeps or running some power. But I just want to see the defense not give up a ton of yards for shovel passes and to contain the edges. That's it. Aside from that, I think there's going to be some really sneaky good games that are going to happen this weekend. And I think that, I don't know, that Miami game is going to be a sneaky game. And that Gator game, I don't know what about it keeps drawing my eyes back to it. But last year, the Gators rallied around Coach Napier and saved that man's job. Now, I don't think they're going to rattle off another 8 wins straight and do that again. But I don't know. There's going to be some sneaky games this weekend. Nonetheless, hey, thanks for taking my call always, Kyle, and roll tide, everybody.
All right, man. Take it easy, Marcus. I appreciate you, man. All right, fam. I appreciate you guys joining me today on the program. If I didn't get to you guys, call in again next time. Y'all have my next score prediction show, which will be on Friday. So you guys can call in with another opportunity to give me your final score prediction. Remember, if you want to get into the raffle, any type of team that you want to get, $10 to enter, $100 to win. You can go up to 3 times. Super Chats work as well. So if you hit the Super Chat today, you're in the raffle for Friday. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Know that every single show is crafted from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you guys always kicking it with me and the continued support that you show right here on the channel. Prayers up to Cody's mom and everybody else that might be going through something. Everybody is, honestly. As you get through life, you start to understand that everybody is probably going through a little bit of something. So that's why it's a better route to always treat people with respect and be positive out there. Be good people. As I always say, stay grounded where your feet are at. Enjoy this present life. And, you know, as news happens, I got you covered right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday. I got work to do, and I'll catch you guys inside the comment box, or as news happens, you'll see another video.